Next chess video of mine. This time I'll show you the game between Houdini 4x64B versus Fritz 11SE, and I let them play the Spanish 4-knights opening, which arises after this moves here, attacking the pawn and then a knight c3 and knight f6, followed by knight b5, and Fritz came up with the move bishop to b5. And now maybe, I don't know, maybe castling here is a good move, or, well, do you win a pawn here? I don't know. I don't think so, though. Knight takes and queen d4, which attacks in, well, okay. Or rook here, but after this, then maybe d5. But then the knight is pinned, so you can capture here. So maybe f5. f5 here, maybe. But then maybe bishop here, attacking the queen. The knight has to hovel back, and then knight takes here. Knight takes there, and rook takes here. Yeah, we have to move castling, so you cannot win a pawn. Here is black, so what else to do here? What else? Maybe castling as well. Castling could be a good move here. Or also the move d6 now, maybe threatening to take this pawn, because now the d pawn is protected. But you can pin this knight, of course, and then maybe castling, and I don't know. But okay, you don't have to take here this knight either. You can just castle here as well. And yeah, this position is quite symmetrical. Let's see how long this will be. Maybe now takes is threatened, so maybe d6. Or d4. d4 though. Yeah, we have to move castling. Maybe d4 takes, or takes, queen takes, and the move d5 now, or d6 probably. And this position should be around equal. Also some knight maneuver is maybe possible after d3, maybe d6, knight here, maybe bishop there, knight here, threatening to go h3, so probably the bishop move here is not that great, so probably maybe bishop to d7, knight here, bishop takes knight, followed by bishop takes knight here. But before it's black's move, so maybe here to stop knight f5. Now maybe bishop here, takes, threatening to go there. Well, it's not a threat, but something like this maybe for both sides is quite possible. Maybe with something like h4 to come. So it's quite an even position, I would say. What else can you do as castling as white here? So the moves d4 or d3. I would go for d3. d4 is also maybe possible, but d3, well, I don't know about d4. Maybe d4, bishop takes here, d5. Now the knight and the bishop is attacked. So maybe here, then takes, and black should be better, so maybe not d4, but d3. Just a solid move. Maybe threaten to pin the knight here, so maybe h6 now. Or some other moves. Knight d4 looks kind of gangster. Taking here, then d6, going back, and bishop here, pinning the knight, and there is really no good way of defending this threat here of the doubled pawns, and then the knight could jump to f5, or the queen could maybe check here. So this could be an option. But also the symmetrical move d6 is kind of normal here in this position. And then maybe bishop here threatening to come in to d4, so eliminate the knight and maybe pin the knight as well. But here you can maybe go g4 and hunt down the bishop and go to f5. And maybe Houdini has some attack here. Yeah, we have to move d6. So what about this position here? This looks also f5 to f4, or f5 takes, rook takes, and then you're on the knight. For example here. Then bishop there, maybe b5, bishop here, knight here, f5, threatening f4. So maybe this one. Taking the knight, jumping in here, takes, queen here, attacking h2, queen defense, knight takes bishop, pawn takes bishop, and f3, and I don't think black has any problems in this position. Yeah, we have to move bishop g5. Let's see, bishop g5, bishop takes c3, looks kind of normal. Then maybe the counter pin. No, not f4, maybe knight here first, then taking here probably, maybe c5 to get some counterplay on the queen side, and then I don't know, f4, takes f4, pawn takes h3, bishop there, or even capturing here. This is a nice tactic with capturing there, attacking the queen, and now black seems busted. Very nice attacking prospects for white. Yeah, we have to move bishop takes c3 here. So we are going into this variation maybe. Now c takes, and yeah, but this is a little bit too far the line here. But it's an idea I had. So this, and bishop here, h3. What about just taking here and going for this kind of endgame? No, not h5. Maybe this one here. Takes. What about this endgame? It looks quite even. Maybe a little bit better for white, but nothing special. Maybe the knight can hover back here, but you can inflict damage, but this rook endgame should be drawish. So maybe white wants to do something else, maybe bishop here to keep the pin. But then maybe g5, bishop here and knight here, maybe, oh no, this would hang the f knight, so maybe king to here to defend it, to maybe plan to go here to f5. Yeah, looks interesting though. Weaken king side, but attacking ideas here probably, so So what else can you do instead of bishop g4 here? You could also kick the bishop immediately and only then go bishop g4. You can also go something passive, something more passive, like bishop to d7 or something like this. Maybe rook e1 to go d5, d4 next. Bishop, no, not bishop takes. Maybe rook here to add more pressure to this pawn right here. So d4 is stopped now. And I don't know. I really don't how to make progress here as white. But we will see. Houdini is a very good engine. Yeah, we have to move h6, asking the bishop a question. Bishop, I think it will go back to h4. Let's see both evaluations. I think it's pretty equal, the position. Let's see. Yeah, Houdini says it's equal and also Fritz says it's equal. Maybe slightly better for white, but nothing special. Yeah, the Ruy-Lopez-4-knights defense is not like the greatest of all openings which white can play, but it's interesting. It's interesting though. White has the bishop pair. And let's see, here in this position it's white's move, so maybe rook b1 here to go on the half open file. Then maybe g5 to ask the bishop a question. You can never go here though, because of this Abzugsschach. Because of this, not Abzugsschach, discovered attack, Abzugsangriff on the knight here. So if you take here, it doesn't really matter with what, then you take the knight and you're down a pawn is black, so you cannot go knight h4, but you can maybe strange plan with king here and here to maybe go knight here later to here, but this is a very long plan. You can also go knight here, maybe kick this knight and have a very nice square here for the knight. This looks also a little bit too extreme here, too weakening, but yeah, maybe if the rook is still there, but also if the rook is still there, then it's too aggressive. I think it's okay. We have to move bishop to d7 as I thought, and now yeah, there is no active plan for white here either. So this position on the board, I don't know, maybe h3. This is what Houdini is calculating, h3, and I see the idea to go here and here maybe to add more pressure to the knight here. For example, this one, that one, maybe even here, so that the knight is pinned. But you can move the rook, for example, here. The knight goes there. Maybe some counterplay measures here, but this looks pretty terrible here. Knight takes, pawn takes, and queen here to attack this pawn. And now f4. So white sacrificed the pawn here, but has a pretty strong attack. Also something like this could come in, or f5, or opening up the rook's file. But you also could maybe, after this one, you could also maybe just take it, knight takes, and then play knight here. Knight takes, pawn takes, rook here to attack the pawn, d4 defending it. Yeah, well, rook to b5 is probably not a very great move, though. Yeah, you could swap this knight off, attack the queen. How is this? No, of course not taking here. Taking there. Rook takes, and pawn takes knight. Yeah, the pawn structure is better for black, so maybe this is not that great, though. Knight h2, maybe with the idea f4 immediately, trying to go f5 and knight here later. Takes, rook takes, but then g5 maybe is an idea. Maybe you can sacrifice a piece, a rook there. Here, for example, knight takes, rook takes there, and queen here maybe. Yeah, but you can always take this bishop off if it's too. But this seems not that it doesn't work. Maybe taking and taking there first, and only then, after all is said and done. But then no, not with the pawn, with the queen. But then you might be able to defend here with this one, but then h4 maybe could be a little bit annoying, but you can just ignore this, take the bishop, and yeah, you don't have to take here. You cannot take here. You can activate the rook, for example. Okay, we have a move there. Let's see. We have h3 and a6. Yeah, this is also what I thought. Maybe even b4 and something like this, or knight here, which is kind of better. Yeah, I like this move. If you go here, then c6, so you kind of lose the bishop, but you don't want to ruin your pawn structure. You want to go to b3 and then maybe takes, and now taking with the a pawn seems also quite attractive because it's opening up the file for the rook. And I don't know, it's black's move, so maybe c6 anyway to try to go d5. Maybe c4 just to stop this. And well, maybe b5, and it's a very interesting position there, very rich position also. Let's see what Houdini comes up with. I will play bishop b3. Knight a5. Very good move. I like it. Yeah, we have to move bishop b3. Now either taking it, but you can also take it later, queen e7 to connect rooks maybe, but and protect this pawn. So then, for example, some random move for white, taking here, taking there, and maybe no, breaking with d5 doesn't work because you're still in this pin, but maybe c6 to prepare this, to prepare this, but white can also break faster. For example, with that kind of stuff. Going to f5, prepare f4, f5 maybe, but then maybe c5. Here, takes, and rook a to d8 maybe, to be able to play d5, maybe d4, rook here, maybe queen there, but this, I don't know about that. Queen here, defending, and rook there to here, and I think there is no sensible defense, so you should go there, but this move is, I don't know. Rook here, check, king here. It looks a little bit on the bad side for black. So you opening the E file, playing this. So maybe you'd have to go this one first to stop the rook coming here, but then maybe this one to again threaten this rook here. So white has even time for a waiting move. I think it's not bad if white plays some weird waiting move. Okay, we have to move queen e7, but what about d4 here immediately? Yeah, well then the e-pawn hangs, so maybe rook here to prepare d4. g5 would be a radical thing to stop d4. Also you can take there, take here, you play maybe g5 to stop d4. Rook, bishop here. Yeah, okay, d4 is stopped, but this king side looks very shaky from black. So probably something else here. But rook e1 seems normal. Here, rook fe1 seems to be a normal move. I would take then. Play something like c6 maybe to prepare d4. What about this knight h1, knight h2, because d4 takes. Okay, then black could play d4, but f3 here. f3 takes, and then the rook can return to the f file. This pawn is still pinned, so I don't know, maybe now g5 is forced. Let's see, let's play some normal move, rook to a1, then this move looks to be very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Taking here with the bishop, and then there is a queen to h4 coming. But also this, while black can maybe hold, it doesn't look that bad either. But okay, why allow this? Black doesn't have to take this, so we can just leave it that way and play some move, for example rook e1 here, and now knight here, bishop takes. Yeah, well, again pawn takes, but then you, okay, pawn takes, rook takes, but now g5 wins the exchange, so you'd probably have to take with the h pawn. But then you might have a plan with king f2 and rook there, with some ideas of queen d2 maybe. Okay, we have to remove rook e1. What's black's response here? This looks kind of a sensible continuation to me. taking the bishop. What else? What else? What? There's black time for some waiting move. Okay, rook f to e1 we have. This is a nice little move. But isn't white now in the position to play d4? d4 takes, threatening d5. Threatening e5. But you could maybe go g5 here, huh? But takes again, pins the knight, and d5 is threatened. So, I don't know if you can do something like that. Would be very, very risky. Yeah, what is black's move here? Some random move, for example, b5, then queen here, or even d5 immediate, e5 immediately. For example, takes, bishop takes here, queen here, bishop has to go back, and then pawn takes knight, attacking the queen. Queen has to go somewhere, probably to the defense, and now queen here, threatening to attack the queen, to go to g1 to mate the black king. So probably you cannot allow this, or at least you shouldn't take this pawn. Maybe even e5 immediately. Maybe even e5 immediately. Okay, we have a different move, but e5 immediately also looks kind of aggressive, attacking the queen and the knight there. So yeah, I would have gone for the move d4, but bishop here, c3, c6 now, bishop has to go back. Now knight takes, rook takes, and now maybe d4, d5 from black. Yeah, but this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This loses a pawn. Okay, black is not in the position to play d5. Black has to wait till white plays d5. So c6 maybe. Then the bishop hovels back. Then take the bishop and I don't know, maybe b5. Or no, maybe c5 then to stop d4, but d4 anyway. Takes, and e5. Attacking the knight, so you have to take. Rook takes, attacking the queen. Queen has to keep an eye on the knight, so probably here. And then something like c3. Maybe to get rid of this. And then you cannot, you could take, because you have this in between move check, and then the knight can go away. And we have 3-5 against 5 pawns, opposite color bishops. So, oh wait, you cannot do this. You cannot do this. You cannot take the rook there, because here this is a fork. So you'd have to exchange queens, and now the knight is hanging, and if the knight moves, then the bishop hangs. So this loses. This you cannot do. Rook to d1. Yeah, we have the move c6, of course. Now the bishop hovers back to b3. What about that position here? It looks better for white though. It looks better for white. So c5 is probably not the best move, But what else to do with white? There is no clear plan for white. Maybe some radical stuff with g5 and g4 takes, knight takes, planning to go f5, put the rook back on the f file, maybe queen here somehow. Wait, maybe f5, queen here to here to here, maybe to have some threats here, but these two pieces are defending this very well. Or maybe g5, g4 is an option. Okay, what else? Some rook move to the c file, but what does this do? Actually, this pawn is always, you can never go for d4 because this pawn will always hang. Well, maybe you can at some point. So some random move, for example, bishop goes back. Now some move back, for example, now d4. Pawn takes, rook takes, but then c5. Rook has to go there to defend the pawn, and then this move. Now the rook is trapped. So, taking there, rook takes. No, you can never really play for d4. Here now c5 even takes. I don't know. I don't see it how black can play for d5. Okay, we have a move here. We have after the move bishop back. We have the move b5 from Fritz 11. So what's Houdini's plan? Maybe now d4. At least I will play d4. Pawn takes and d5. Rook takes. Queen here. Pawn takes. Okay, we have a move. We have to move queen to d2 here in this position. Maybe c5 now. Threatening c4 to trap the bishop. Okay, we have a different move. The knight takes the bishop. And now I will take with the a pawn to open up the rook's file. And yeah, then maybe go for d4 anyway. I would go for d4. But black don't have to take it. Takes, opening up the rook for the attack to the queen. Maybe a5 by black, or c5 to get some play on the queen side. We will see. Very interesting position, very interesting Ruy-Lopez position. But after, okay, we have the move c5. Maybe d4 now. Takes. Now you don't take here because then e5 is coming. But yeah, maybe something like rook a7 to double on the a file. What about that position here? Looks pretty dry, if you ask me. 3, 4, 5 against 3, 4. What? 6 against 5? Where did white want a pawn? Where did white want? Oh yeah, here, of course. No, but you cannot take this pawn, of course. It's defended by the queen. Also, some bishop move is now threatened, so maybe queen here to attack the rook, but then rook here to threaten maybe a5, a4. Okay, we stopped this in its tracks. This a5, a4 idea is also very interesting. Is here that you can maybe double and attack this pawn here, but we can maybe go for something like this and then activate the rook via this file here. But okay, this is a little bit slow, because when you go here, oh, you can go here, yes, of course, because now the rook is defended by the queen. So this is one for black. But okay, we have a different move. We have to move rook b1, rook b8, I mean. What about rook a1 now? Rook here to defend the pawn, but this looks a little bit shaky. Then maybe d4. Takes. Queen takes, even attacking the rook. Rook goes there, and then d5, d4. Taking here, attacking the rook. Rook attacks the queen goes there. Yeah, it looks pretty. Yeah, it looks like white maybe gets something here. For example, this one takes, queen takes, check. Yeah, white has a perpetual at least a perpetual, but maybe something like this is better to avoid this g5 threat. Okay, we have a different move in the game. Then d4 or rook a1. We have to move queen to e2 now. Queen e2, what does this do? Maybe something like b4. c4 now. Lock down the queen side. Black has a weak pawn over there, so maybe this is gonna be targeted, but I don't know. Queen e2, maybe even, yeah, what to do with black? Let's see. I have no real clue what to do with black. Maybe bishop e6 here. Let's see both evaluations. I think it's still drawish. Okay, it's better for white. Both engines say it's better for white. Okay, we have to move bishop to c6. I would still go for d4. Why not go d4 here? D takes and e5. Takes, knight takes, attacking the bishop. The bishop moves back. Pawn takes, and queen here maybe to attack this pawn. Defends it, and now you maybe have. No, you don't have some discoveries, but yeah, you can go back, of course, with the knight to attack the rook, but you can also go f4 here. So now the rook is defended, and you threaten something like knight to c6 here. Let's see. d4 is an option, followed by e5. What else to do here? Knight d2 is Houdini is calculating knight f d2. Maybe we have some ideas with f4 takes. Okay, knight h2. Because now the bishop is no longer on this diagonal, so knight to g4 is a threat. Queen e6 to go out of the pin to be able to take this. Maybe. Yeah, let's see about this endgame. Well, bishop takes, queen takes, knight here is also an option. Queen goes there maybe. And g6. The queen goes there, h4, queen goes there, d4 takes, this kind of continuation, maybe. This doesn't work because you're twice in the square, but you maybe be able to do this kind of stuff. Yeah, we have the move queen e6. What about that position here? 2, 6 against 5. Black is up a pawn, so you cannot go for d4. This is not that strong anymore. But I would still take here, bishop takes. Houdini is calculating, oh yeah, this is also a nice idea. Houdini is calculating knight f1 with the idea either to g3 or to e3. Probably to e3, you have more options there. And from e3 you can either go to g4, to f5, which is the square I would think of, and to d4, to d5. So like a little knight maneuver, and Houdini does this, knight f1. G5 now. Yeah, g5. Wow, this is extreme. This is extreme kind of chess by Fritz. Fritz 11 plays g5. Yeah, okay, the bishop goes back to g3. g4 maybe. Okay, now the knight controls the square here. But this one kicks a knight. Knight has to go back, and now knight e3, and the knight moves in here, attacking this pawn right there. Maybe f4, f5, or something like this in the future. Looks pretty good for white now. After g5, I really like white's position. Here, this knight maneuver from f1, from f3 to h2 to f1 to e3 to f5 is really nice. I really like this. I really like this maneuver. And from f5 it does so much things. It threatens the king, it threatens the pawn. It's very nice. It's a very nice knight. But okay, what here maybe? Yeah, okay. Fritz calculates the move c4 to undermine this square right here, but takes, not queen takes. Now you have a dribbled isolated pawn and you lose that one, which is not so great. So c4 might be a good move, but you just ignore it. Why take it? Just go here with the knight, and if you take, now the knight will hop in here, and this will be a monstrous knight. B takes c4. Yeah, you can also go b takes c4 first, and after c takes d4, not this move, of course not, then this threatens the pawn, so the pawn has to take. Pawn takes, and now there is no way of stopping the knight from coming to f5, and this will be a monstrous knight. Maybe d5. Maybe d5. Knight here, you have to defend this pawn here. King here. And f3, maybe. Maybe f3, just to solidify everything. Also this taking is not that great, because rook takes here is attacking the queen and defending the knight. So yeah, where to go with the queen? Probably here, and now you take here, opening up the line for the rook and for the queen. Maybe h4 is coming. This looks terrible for black. This looks terrible for black. So you cannot go d4 here. Yeah, we have the move b takes. And now, of course, b takes c4. This is also good. And now Houdini won't capture this pawn. This is for sure. And Houdini will go knight to d3. Knight to e3 here. because this f5 square just looks too tasty. And now I want to see both evaluations. After g5 I really give white like +1 or something. Yeah, Houdini says it's +1.6 and Fritz says it's +0.76. So both engines think white is better. Very interesting Ruy-Lopez. And yeah, b takes c4 and knight to e3. Now this takes, the knight will hop in here. Maybe some counterplay with rook here to attack this pawn, but still the knight comes to f5, and then you might be able to play h4, and if no, this is not, yeah, you can also go forward, but if you take, then maybe you don't take this one, you just go here, attack this pawn here, and you have to defend it somehow. So maybe the knight hops somewhere. The knight could hop here now. Yeah, but then f3. So maybe the knight goes here. Yeah, we have this knight to e3 now. Yeah, this maneuver is very nice. Very nice. I have to remember this maneuver. To f5. This is really a great maneuver. Really a great maneuver. And now we also have to move c takes d3. Now we have to move c takes d3, of course. And now yeah, rook to b3. That doesn't look that great here. You have to defend. Bishop takes then, and this pawn is very weak. You might be able to play rook here to here or something and put the bishop back somewhere, or even add more pressure to the pawn. So yeah, but okay, you can also exchange this rook, for example takes, bishop takes, and then go for d5, or well, okay, c5, stopping d5, and then knight here, attacking the pawn, and this should be very good. This should be very good for black. For example, here, if takes and bishop takes, and if you go further, then queen here attacks this pawn again. You have to move the knight to defend the pawn here. Yeah, this knight on f5, it's a knife on f5. It's really a knife here, a knife. And yeah, let's see how Houdini will convert this, but I'm pretty sure Houdini will win this, because yeah, this maneuver is just too good. Rook takes, rook b5 now. Yeah, just exchange it. At least I would exchange it. Houdini, again, I like this engine because it knows somehow when there is no plan for the opponent, and it has time for such maneuvers. c4, b takes c4, b takes c4. Not b takes c4, but knight e3. This is great stuff. Takes, and now rook b5 we have on the board. And Houdini is calculating rook a3. But okay, maybe Fritz has some chances to hold this because it has a passed a pawn. Fritz maybe can hold this because it has a passed a pawn. But we will see. We will see. Rook to a3 is the move Houdini is calculating. Let's see, okay, yeah, maybe rook here, but then maybe this stuff, putting the queen on Siberia, threatening this pawn. h5, maybe taking and going here. For example, yeah, if white ever takes this bishop, then we would have this check, only square for the king, and now this is mate, so you cannot take the bishop. And yeah, now knight to g8 is forced, and now just take the pawn here. And everything is defended. Maybe some ideas with rook here to here to here is an idea. Yeah, this looks quite menacing for black. This is quite promising for white, this position. What else? h4 is a very good move, but rook here is maybe not the greatest move. Maybe d5 now. Knight here, pawn takes, d5, f3 I would play, f3, taking there, opening up the f file, and the knight will come in here. Okay, but we don't have d5. Rook b5, rook a3. Now we have to move a5. Okay, push the passed pawn. Why not? Why not? But now the knight hovels to f5. This is... As soon as Houdini played this knight h2, I saw this idea here to go to f5. Also to g5, here at some point to g4, and as soon as he played knight f1, I saw that the knight would come to f5, and black can't do anything against it. And now the knight will stand on f5, king has to go there, and then h4, just opening up the king side, because yeah, this is just nice. This is just a nice position for white. And I will look at the evaluation after the knight is on h5. King here isn't forced. You can also go back with the knight somewhere. For example, here now the queen is protecting the pawn here, but h4, 5 takes, followed by queen here, then the king has to go there. Yeah, this kind of it looks busted. After the knight is here, it looks busted for black. It really doesn't look good anymore, because if the knight goes back, then the queen just goes here, and now you have to defend like this. And maybe yeah, this is even kind of I don't know. Then the e-pawn could fall, takes, queen takes here. Oh wait, but after takes you have this takes, bishop takes there, knight takes there, bishop hovels back, and the knight returns to, and the knight takes here. 1, 2, 3, 4 against 3 pawns, so even this is better for white. But you of course don't have to play this d4 move. You can play other stuff as well, but this looks pretty nice for white. And of course the knight is now on f5 attacking the pawn. I think king h7 will be played, not knight d7, king h7, because white play the knight back and allow queen h4. Yeah, this knight is just a monster. Now this bishop has to be activated, and let's see how Houdini does it. Maybe via h4. This is the idea I always had in mind now. I showed a few variations with h4, and let's see both evaluations. 1.65 against 0.79. So both engines think Houdini thinks it's close to winning for white, and Fritz thinks it's better, much better for white also. Yeah, h4 should be the move here. h4, yeah. Maybe g5 then. G5. Maybe then even f3. Or queen there. Attacking this pawn again. Maybe here. To defend. Yeah, it's close. It's close, but I don't see a breakthrough at the moment. It's close though. It's really close. So king h7 we have on the board, and h4 we also have on the board. This is a very instructive Ruy-Lopez here. 4 knights defense, how to play the 4 knights. It's very instructive here. h4. h4. Now we have to move takes, and now c4. Counter-attacking the rook. Rook has to move. Maybe the rook goes here. And now bishop takes. Yeah, I guessed the move. Bishop takes h4 now. Threaten the knight to go d4. Yeah, d4 is... Or threatening the knight and go queen here. With king h2 and rook h2 and king g1 to follow. To be on this pawn 3 times. Maybe you have time for this. Or even faster to go d4 to sacrifice a pawn. Well, before, take this knight off. It's white's move now. Take this knight off. Okay, rook here. Now is played. Knight, rook takes d4, and now rook h3 will come, and this is the idea. Rook h3 and then all is over. Rook h3. Oh, d4 immediately. Okay, d4 immediately. That's a pawn sacrifice. Takes. Queen here threatening mate. Okay, threatens mate. So maybe f7 now to defend against the mate. Now the rooks are defending the mate. Okay, no. Queen h4. Queen here. Rook takes knight. We have now h5. The queen goes back. They're still defending the knight. Bishop takes rook. Queen takes rook, and now there is a big threat of rook g3. And rook g3, you cannot stop rook g3 anymore, and it's over. It's a sacrifice. It was a very good sacrifice here, exchange sacrifice, and now it's over. We have to move a4 because there's nothing to do for black anymore, and now rook g3 will be crushing. We have takes here first. Okay. Yeah, maybe takes there. And then rook g3. What? Houdini missed the chance of playing rook h3. Here takes. Rook here. Rook here. Takes. Maybe a6 now. Okay, we have a move. We have to move rook a6. And now this move. 3 against 3 pawns. 2 pieces for the rook. Okay, that should be winning. Queen here. Rook here. I mean, where's the queen going, and what is the evaluation of both engines? Queen goes there. Let's see. It should be winning for white. Houdini says +3 and Fritz says +2. So yeah, it's winning for white. Yeah, very instructive though, very instructive. But I would have gone for this rook g3 idea. Attacking, well, the bishop is defended. Where's the bishop going? The bishop doesn't go anywhere because it's defended. The pawn moves forward. Push the passed pawn. They say passed pawns must be pushed. And now desperate move. Rook takes. And on knight here. Not even taking the exchange. Then white would be up a piece. But okay, attacking the rook. This is interesting. This is interesting though. Rook here defending the knight, but now this rook can also has also survived. Rook here, okay. Knight takes, queen takes, of course. And here I will say, I will call it a day, because white is up a clear piece and this is just winning. So let's see how both evaluations are. +4 from Fritz and +5 by Houdini. Okay, I let them play a couple of more moves. We have the move bishop here, rook here, and bishop there. Yeah, no, I'll call it a day and I'll call it a win for white. Because this is clearly winning now. So, very instructive Ruy-Lopez here. Very, very instructive. Let's see where is the big thing happens. Where did the big thing happen? Not that way. Okay, e4, knight f3, knight c, this, all pretty standard here. d6, bishop here, bishop takes, pawn takes, h6 the first, and here d4. I always analyze d4, but okay, you can also go h3, nothing wrong with that. a6, bishop here, knight here, bishop there. Very instructive kind of game here. Yeah, this maneuver is just great. This maneuver is it's just an awesome knight maneuver. And as soon as the knight landed on f5, both engines agreed that this is better for white, because it's just a knife on f5. h4 now, opening up the king side. She takes h4. And c5, attacking the rook, rook b7, bishop takes. Here and d4 immediately. I would have gone for bishop takes and then d4, but d4 immediately seems strong. Knight takes e4 and queen here, threatening mate. Queen here and now rook takes d4. 5, bishop takes, pawn takes. Where did you get the two pieces here? Yeah, okay, here you get the two pieces. Of course, you get two pieces for the rook. And this is now all over by the shouting. Why to put the rook there? I don't understand this. Rook g6. What about rook here? Queen takes, pawn, rook here, check, king here, bishop there, check. It's desperate time. Yeah, and now you're 2 pieces up, and this is also lost. Okay, knight takes rook. And here I called it a day. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time. Ciao.